10 tips for taking a professional LinkedIn photo. Tip number 1, pick a photo that looks like you. Now, I couldn't agree with this more. I want people to feel like their best selves. I don't want you to dress up and be somebody who you're not. I always recommend dress in something that makes you feel really good and confident, but also something that you're gonna wear to go meet a new client. So if you're an HR manager and you're gonna go meet a potential new client, what would you wear to go meet that new client? If you're a fitness trainer, what are you gonna wear? If you're not gonna be super dressed up and wear a tie and the whole suit, don't wear that for your headshots. Oftentimes dressing down is gonna be more authentic, and that authenticity is really gonna translate. So fully agree with tip number 1. Dress like yourself, feel like yourself. Use a high resolution photo. Now this is also an excellent tip. As a headshot photographer, I'm a little biased, but you should be using a high resolution photo. It's really gonna be a little more crispy, a little more clear, and people are gonna be able to recognize who you are more easily. Make sure your face fills 60% of the frame. Now what they're talking about is in the profile photo on LinkedIn, it's a circle around your head, right? On your phone, it's like smaller than a dime. On your desktop, it's probably the size of a dime. So what they want is for you to fill your face with 60% of that circle. And that's so people can recognize you. There's no point in having a good headshot if people can't even recognize you. That's what a headshot is for. There's a circle here, kind of divided into 3 sections. They want your head really big in that tiny photo, and that's gonna help you be more recognizable and fill the frame more. The smaller you are in a frame, the more insignificant you're going to look. And I don't want people to look insignificant. Take up that real estate, it's there for you to use, and fill your face with at least 60% of the photo. Tip number 4 is be the only person in the photo. Now, you'd be amazed at how many people have cropped other people out for their headshots, probably in a wedding photo, like maybe you're a groomsman or a bridesmaid, and that's a great picture of me, and you can crop it out. But you see an arm, or there's people behind you. Now that's not gonna fly, it's gonna be distracting. Take the time, put a little bit of budget, go get a professional headshot done, and be the only person in the photo, because it's your profile photo. So far, these are great tips, LinkedIn. Tip number 5, get somebody else to take the photo for you. Again, I'm biased. I'm a professional headshot photographer. Hire a professional photographer. There's something about somebody else taking the photo for you where you're able to connect with the camera a little bit. Now, how I do that is some banter behind the camera. I like to find something in common with the person, and before you know it, we forget that we're even doing a photo shoot. There's a light that shines through them, an authenticity that translates in the photo, where if you're taking a photo, you're kind of like self-conscious, you're thinking too much, and you can see yourself. I don't even like to have a mirror in my photo studio when I'm doing the photo. I have a mirror out in the lobby, but I don't have a mirror in behind the camera because people are distracted. I want them to connect with the camera because that's who's going to be looking at the photo, and you want that human connection. Tip number 6, take a photo with the right expression. Now this is huge, and one of my favorite parts of photography and headshot photography, the education of what your expression communicates to the other person. It doesn't always have to be a big smile. You don't even have to show your teeth, but you need to have the right expression to communicate what you want to convey to your ideal client. But sometimes we maybe want like a more subdued smile, something that shows, hey, we're friendly, but we're not like a goofball, because we still want people to take us seriously. And then sometimes we want to put on more of a stern look that demands authority. And that's okay, as long as you have the information to choose the right expression. I like to grab a wide variety of expressions during my headshot sessions, and then we review the photos and we can find out, hey, like, what are you actually going to use these photos for? What are your core values? And then we can choose the right expression from there. Tip number 7, avoid busy backgrounds. I couldn't agree more. I'm the hugest fan of a solid background. Something like this, too busy, because your eye isn't going necessarily only to me. Your eye is exploring the background. And for a headshot photo, you want the attention only to be on you. Now, another really handy thing with a solid color background is you're able to extend it as far as you want, left, right, up, probably not down because your legs are below you, but you can add graphics, you can add PowerPoint text. If you're going to do a trade show banner or something, you can expand that sucker as far as you want and add whatever graphics you want. You can also just simply cut out the background and put the person in front of wherever. If it's a realtor, oftentimes they put it in front of like a listing, and each listing's different, so you want the current listing behind the headshot. Another great tip, use a solid color background, or at least a background that isn't busy. If there's a rose bush or something behind you, although it's a pretty rose bush, it's going to be distracting, and for a headshot, it's all about your head. Go figure. Tip number 8, wear what you'd wear to work. Okay, that's kind of what, like I said earlier, dress like you would to work or to meet a new client. Don't overdress and probably don't underdress. When I'm in the studio with clients, I like to shoot a couple different options, what you'd wear to work, but then also something toned down, just a t-shirt, because we really don't want to be distracted. We don't want the viewer to be distracted. We want the viewer to see just your face, just your head, and a t-shirt is often perfect enough, or a t-shirt, throw on a blazer over top of that, or a leather jacket, something like that. And we can get a couple different options. But tip number 8, wear what you'd wear to work. And I fully agree with that. Tip number 9, take the photo in soft, natural light. Now here's where I'm kind of like, I don't fully agree, and that's because I'm a professional studio headshot photographer, although I can shoot in natural light, and natural light can produce amazing options. Why I don't like natural light is if you have a whole team of people and you want to match photos, or you hire new people, but you shot in the summer and it's winter, it's probably going to be raining or snowing out and the photos aren't going to match. Maybe it's a cloudy day and you shot in the sun before, or maybe it's sunny and people can't see the sun's there. Try to backlight them, but then if you backlight them, you need to put a light on them so that they're not a silhouette. Now, I think this article is probably aimed for people who are having a friend shoot the photo, or even taking the photo themselves, even though that's not suggested by one of the tips. I love my studio lights. There's so many options. I can make my studio lights mimic natural light. I can make them go super dark and moody, have that flexibility. Tip number 10, use filters wisely. Another great tip, especially as a professional photographer, I hand over edited photos or even the proofs to look a certain way. And when you throw an Instagram filter on there, or a cheesy Photoshop filter on there, or you're even using some fun AI tools to make yourself look like a samurai or what have you, it kind of cheapens the photo, and people will look at you with a perception of maybe you're a little cheesy or you're cheap. I just want you to look good, you know? I want to produce the best high quality headshot to help you link up with your ideal clients, make your business better. These are your PR images for marketing yourself. So I think throwing a cheap filter on there does cheapen the effect. I would love to know, like, did you learn anything? Is there something, if you look at your headshot, what might you want to change, or are you on the right track? I would just love some feedback. I'm going to do another video, put it up shortly. So please like, subscribe, share the video. That would be super helpful. I appreciate you checking this out.